So day 0 has drawn to a close. Once again, it was a half day, so didn't really get to jam as many games as I was hoping to. Also, it looks like it's mostly ABC focused for the side events, which is good. New format, get a bunch of new players into it. There was one Wanderer event that fired off, and sadly I was playing an ABC event during that. I was kind of hoping to either test out my deck that I was going to be playing in the main format, or play one of my for fun decks that I brought with me. Hopefully either tomorrow or Sunday we'll have plenty of time to jam more of those games. I was the only person that signed up for 100 Epic Stories, sadly. There were other people that were ready to play 100 Epic Stories there, but they showed up whenever I was already in a pod, so couldn't really fire a game off today. Kind of bummed about that. Game 1 we played Arcana Colosseum, and I made the dumb choice of I threw the precon for Fire Darkness together just because I wanted to dip my toes in it a bit, get a good feel of the deck, before I start making changes. I should have just gone with my guts and just made the necessary changes or the changes that I thought was necessary. The precon, it's fine, but something that's different between saying a commander precon and the ABC precons is that something like commander, there's politics to it and it's the last player standing. Whereas with ABC, the decks, it's based on who can win the fastest, who can kill an opponent the fastest, and there weren't a lot of cards in the ABC precon for Fire Darkness that were oh, you can just pop off and just take an opponent out. There were good cards, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't anything that was going to really win me the game on the spot. Aside from maybe kill stealing, if someone's 200 off or 400 or 500 life off, I could steal a kill, but there wasn't anything that was okay, let's just hammer on home a win here. It's a cool format. I'm not warmed up to it. Maybe after I make some necessary changes to the ABC deck that I'm thinking about running in the next one, maybe that will warm me up to the format, but as of right now, it just feels I don't know, it's not, it doesn't click for me. It's not grabbing me yet. I don't know, when I think multiplayer, I don't think first person to kill an opponent or first person to get their 3 victory crystals or whatever. I think last man standing, and that's where I definitely enjoy 100 Epic Stories more than ABC. But once again, I feel like I need to need to dip my toes more, need to go full dive, just full send it and really try to get into it, but yeah, no, there's you can gang up on a player who's doing really well, but then they become the target. And depending on what kind of decks you're playing against, they could easily just capitalize on it and just win right there. Whereas 100 Epic Stories, it's last man standing, so once a player is a non-threat, yeah, you could probably take him out, but then, oh well, your defenses are down. You kind of have to survive the whole table. It's weird. I want to like it, but there's just multiple things about it that I'm just I don't think it's the best multiplayer format, at least for me. There's people that I can easily see that enjoy it, but I'm just not fully sold yet. Yeah. Positives about ABC. The fact that you're limited to the 2 colors of your ruler does make you have to get more creative with your deck building, which is nice, but it does eliminate any tricolor cards. Now in the future they can remedy that. They can make tricolor ABC rulers and maybe make what they do less effective, or maybe you start out with a disadvantage or something, stuff like that. Maybe you don't have your filters anymore, or convoking cost more, something like that. You could probably balance it to where a tricolor ABC ruler is fair. But yeah, no, the 2 color limitation, there's creativity, but then there's also just some color combinations for Force of Will are better than others, and I feel that's also going to be a factor. But then it also comes down to your play group and stuff. But the fact that it feels like a more competitive multiplayer format, it's like, why would you bother running the weaker stuff when you can run the it's weird. I want to like it. I want to like it, but at the same time, it's just like, I'd rather be playing a regular multiplayer format. I say regular multiplayer format. I'd rather be playing a multiplayer format where it's last man standing. Like, the ABC precons, if it was last man standing, are probably pretty fine because they look like a non-threat to a lot of players. But the fact that it's not last man standing, it's just like, well, fuck, dude. They could have easily made it very similar to Commander. Like, victory crystals are great. Instead of it being like when you get 3 victory crystals, like when you get 3 victory crystals, that should just kill that opponent, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I attacked this player 3 times, here's the 3 victory crystals, that player's dead. And then it like turns into a 3-man pod. I don't know, yeah. So moving on from ABC, because I feel like I'm just ranting in circles, the other thing that I played was Alice Origin format. And Casey, one of the members of the community, wanted to try to get Alice Origin cluster going, and it was honestly a pretty fun time. Something that like a lot of people will bring up is that, oh, you mean Rizard cluster? And while Rizard is definitely powerful just as is, a lot of the strength that he had was because he was in New Frontier, and you take away some of the like meta-relevant cards that were in New Frontier at that time, and he's just a solid ruler. Now there are like obviously tiers for all the rulers in Alice Origin, but taking that aside, it was pretty well rounded. I feel like decks could probably have been better. Like, I shouldn't say that. They're straight up like sample decks that Casey threw together. Like, I would say like almost theme decks, but like probably a little stronger, but very theme heavy. I'd say like maybe a step up above the starter deck versions of decks. Arla kicked my ass. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I didn't realize the win con that I had in the Melgus deck until Arla was like already stomping me. Yeah. And like after playing that, I was like, oh, I could probably like tweak this and make it a little more like viable in this format. And I think it's something that needs to be given a shot, at least a little bit. Stranger rulers aren't really appreciated all that much anymore. Like maybe Arla, maybe Faria could see some playability in the modern Wanderer game, but all likelihood, not really. But playing in Alice Origin format, I mean, there's options. There's definitely options. So, that aside, let's talk about tomorrow. We got the main tournament coming up. I need to finish my deck, and I think I might also just go and write up the deck list so that way I'm not like stress writing in the morning. The core of the deck is here. Me and my best friend just kind of like worked on it a little. Thank you, Geraldo, if you're seeing this. I had an idea of what I wanted the build to be, and playing against a deck that he was playing dawned on me that I was doing just straight up jank to a degree, and I really should just like gone back to what the deck was previously. But after playing with him with it for like hours and stuff, just like trying to solve a puzzle, we came to a build that did implement some of the stuff that I was trying to use in the previous build, and then also just sort of refine the core a little. But I feel like there's like a little bit more fine tuning that we can do to actually get this to what I think is a very nice competitive level. So I'll be working on that tonight after I get some food. I might work more on the ABC deck, but I do want to really like try to like finalize a newer version of my 100 Epic Stories deck, and maybe get a second 100 Epic Stories deck together. But with a very small number of 100 Epic Stories players that showed up, I might just do the one deck. Maybe if I find time, I might try to actually work on that second deck, but yeah, no, this is probably gonna be just the one. Also time constraints, I don't wanna like spend fucking hours working on a side event deck and then be super tired for the main format. There's also one more thing that we can do tonight. Whenever I bought a card because I realized I forgot to pick up a copy of a certain card for a deck, a side event deck. I didn't want to pull it from my main deck, so I went over to CCG Prime, who's a vendor here for the tournament, and here's a like a minimum that they need to meet on their credit card payments. So I bought a booster pack. Not any booster pack, but a booster pack of Game of Gods Revolution, and it's the pre-release kit version. Now, I happen to have a few cards from GRV that I run regularly. Maybe, just maybe we'll get another copy of it. Just for fun, I will have TCG Player pulled up, see if we hit any spice, anything interesting. Let's get TCG Player pulled up and let's crack this bad boy open. If we hit an Oburozuki, that'd be amazing, to be honest, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. Alright, what if we hit a ruler? That'd be pretty cool. Alright, let's see how we do. Apostle of Dragonflame, Typhon's Wave of Terror, Mechanized Children of Kronos, Terminator Drone. Hey, Typhon's Antibodies! What up? I don't think that's probably not on the first page, but that's gotta be at least a couple dollars. Oh damn, GRV actually has some fairly expensive stuff actually, oh my god. Okay, $1.40, this is decent. The Essence of Dante's Power. Oh, I skipped a card. Theophy? Theophy? Theophy. Probably butchered that. The Essence of Dante's Power. The Essence of Athena's Power, and our Marvel, hey, we have Marvel Rares and Zug Liang. That's probably worth a decent amount. How much are we looking for Zug? $9, hey, what up? Okay, so we made our money back, hell yeah. And a Full Art Ares, that's a 12 Olympian. Oh man, how much is Ares going for? Full Art Ares, $2.90, that's not bad, hell yeah. Cool. So nothing I run regularly. Zug Liang sees play in some of my decks. The Full Art Ares, if I do make a 12 Olympians build, that's kind of nice. But yeah, the antibody is probably like the highlight, just because you can have as many copies as you want in your deck, so you can have 100 and be fine. Yeah, no, not a bad opening. I've had better, but definitely not a bad opening. That'll be it for this video. Look forward to the matches coming up ahead. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.